language of letting go, morning meditation, morning devotional that we do as a couple. Beautiful thing.
A podcast, a live stream about recovery.
It's kind of like
codependency.
I feel like it's kind of like Dancing with the Stars. Did you ever watch that? It's like you got like a sports player, like an NFL player dancing with some dancer. That's how I feel. Like I'm like an NFL. Okay. I'm a CFL football player with 2 left feet, and we dance together doing morning meditations.
Are we amateurs?
Sometimes.
We're amateurs.
Oh, we be them.
That's okay though.
We got the amateur life. Yes.
That's okay. Because an amateur has fun. An amateur can just do something for the fun of it.
That's true.
We're not here to make money. We're not here to get famous. We got nothing to prove.
We just want to just share our experience, strength, and hope with you.
We have overcome many life challenges, and
1 or 2. I remember we have a friend in recovery, and he's a psychotherapist. And he, before COVID, we were talking, and he just looks at me. He's like, "I can't believe you guys are still married. Like that never happens." And so the lifestyle that we lived from high school, 15 years of addiction.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So do you know what wedding anniversary it is next month?
Why? Why would you do this? Like, this is what amateurs do. This is why that we're never pros. This is what amateurs do.
I had to look it up. I only know because
it's the 27th of April.
I know that. So I had to look it up. So we've been married 19 years.
We did everything backwards.
But our son is turning 25.
So
which means that
we have not been married 25 years, but in the sight of the Lord.
No,
we've been married for 25 years. We started dating in 1980.
No.
My heart was dating you in 1980.
27
I remember
years ago.
when you rolled into Crean Wilson High School and you had the mane and you had the Winnipeg cheerleading jacket. And I was like, it was an eye catcher.
Really?
Yeah. In the suburbs of Ottawa. I was like,
any new girl is going to be that comes in the beginning of the school year. Any new girl that comes into school in March.
It could have been the cheerleading jacket, but I think it was your eyes. It was the whole combo.
We've gotten distracted.
And then I got to date you 2 years later.
If that's what we want to call it.
If that's what you want to call it.
The point being,
I captured you 2 years later.
But trapped you. Tricked me.
I tricked you. Oh man! If God can put back together, what's the point? What's the point?
That's the point. That if God can put us back together, He can do that for anyone.
Yeah. And that cheesy Chinese or Japanese vase that shatters, but they put it back with gold glue.
Yeah, it makes it even.
Doesn't that feel
more
like
beautiful?
Feel like us? Yeah. Well, if it could happen to us, it can happen to anyone. So. Thank you for
tuning in,
joining our journey.
I know that I have 3 friends who watch regularly.
Oh my goodness.
So I appreciate them a lot.
I have one that
they send me messages and I'm like, thank you for making me feel like special.
Gold. What is our date today? Is the 11th?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 11th. Oh. I kind of like it when it's a short one. I get excited.
I saw how short it was.
I can stumble through something. All right. Let's get this on.
All right.
Let's get this on.
Good morning.
Letting go of confusion. Letting go of confusion. Sometimes the way is not clear. Our minds get clouded and confused. We aren't certain what our next step should be, what it will look like, what direction we're headed. That is time to stop, ask for guidance, and rest. That is time to let go of fear and wait. Feel the confusion and chaos, then let it go. The path will show itself. The next steps shall be revealed. We don't have to know now. We will know in time. Trust that, let go, and trust. Prayer for today. Today I will wait if the way is not clear. I will trust that out of the chaos will come clarity. Amen. Man. There is so much confusion in the world, in our lives. You got all the news and the rules keep changing, and then the doubt, and then the conspiracy theorists, and it's like vaccines are coming out. There's so much confusion just in our culture today, our society. But then what is the confusion in my heart of where's our purpose? What like we're trapped in this house. And I've learned in my recovery is exactly this. Just stop and wait. And don't keep moving when it's like when you're in fog. Have you ever driven in fog?
Yeah, I don't like driving in fog.
I don't like driving in fog because you don't know what's ahead of you. And your high beam lights, all of the things that you use to drive, especially at night, are useless. They're actually makes it worse. So when you're moving fast and you have your high beams on, you can even see less. So I think that's a great lesson is just stop the car.
And I think that this is like this is what I practiced when I was living with a full-blown drug addict and things were going crazy. But this is also what I'm practicing right now when I'm unemployed and I don't know what my next step should be. And I don't know what kind of job, like, you know, and if I start thinking about it too much, like someone will text me once in a while or message me and say like, hey, you know, would you consider this kind of job? And like, I get really anxious if I think about it. But also, you know, we made a different decision. We're like, okay, how can we buckle down on our expenses so that I don't actually have to look for a job right now? And so instead I can wait and ask God and just say like, what am I supposed to do next? What is that supposed to look like? It feels, you know, muddy to me. Like there's some solutions that look really easy. Like I know I could do this. Like I know I could, but is that really what God would have for me?
Well, that's exactly what, and I think that's a beautiful analogy with the fog in the car. Yeah. You slow down, you put your hazards on, you don't shine your high beams, and you just take it easy. And you might have to pull over on the shoulder a little bit, but you make your way and feel your way around.
It's not a giving up. For sure, it's not a giving up. And it's also not the same as just like living in denial. That's not the same thing. You know, just putting one foot in front of the other and living in denial and pretending that there isn't any confusion around you isn't actually.
No, she's actually saying feel it.
Pay attention to the confusion. Pay attention to the, you know, to the chaos. Like feel it, experience it, acknowledge it, and then say, okay, God, like I need a power. I need a power greater than me to lead me out of this.
Well, and then I can go back to early recovery and that first year of my recovery, leaving treatment and being injected back into life and you know, finances and house and kids and all that stuff. To me, there was so much emotion and confusion and responsibility. And I've never felt that before because alcohol took that away, because I was an add-on to everything. And so now I'm just like the weight of finances, and like I don't own any money, and I don't even own my time. Like even in the bathroom, everybody's in here setting up a picnic, and it's like overwhelming and chaotic. And so my solution is to go drink. And so that the next 6 months after I left treatment, I probably relapsed 4, 5, 6 times. You probably counted.
I remember.
But that confusion that I didn't let go of.
I remember feelings were such a big deal to you. Like if we had a little disagreement about something, like that was to you, that was like the end of the world. And I was, you know, I think I was confused by that, but then realized like, oh yeah, you drank your way out of everything.
I had such little capacity.
Yes.
And then I had the thimble of capacity. Yeah. And so when that thimble gets full, the only way I know how to empty is by drinking. And so that's what happened. But Monday morning, I call my sponsor. I say, I messed up. When can we meet? I want to get back on track. That's not the life that I can go to. I understand that when I drink, I can't stop. I'm not in control. These aren't my choices. I want life and not death. And then he goes, why don't you call me first? And that's what this is saying. In the fog, stop shining your high beam. Everything you think that's going to work does not work. And so call me. And I said, why would I call you when I already made up my mind? And I'm like, right there, I don't even understand the problem because I've made up my mind. It's not even my choice. And so that's the tension of being in an environment that is confusing and fog and all the things that I thought worked, you know, my high beams and driving at a certain speed in the fast, all those things, they actually don't work at all. And so I think I'm in control, but I'm not. And so I have to reach out. I have to stop. I have to feel the confusion and I have to feel the chaos and let it go and go before I choose to go drinking. then I have to do something before that. I have to stop and wait.
Well, and how humbling is that phone call? And then really, like, where does that even start? That actually, that humility actually starts even before that, of actually saying to another person, these feelings are really overwhelming. Like, I feel really angry. I feel really sad. Like, I'm feeling really overwhelmed at home. Those are humbling statements for a man to make to his sponsor, to his wife, to whoever it is. But I think that those are the steps that we can take, when we can say, like, actually, I feel, it feels cloudy. It feels confusing. I don't know how to do this.
Well, I think it's a better look on a person in recovery that I go, I'm a train wreck and I'm full of fear and chaos and I don't want to drink, instead of not recognizing it and going to drink.
Right.
And where'd that guy go? At least this guy is here complaining, like crying about it. And then he at least can do something about it. Man, confusion can be a hard spot. The enemy wants to torment us, harass our minds. The disease resides in our minds. And that's the promise of recovery. That's the promise of God, that he will relieve us of our bondage. He will relieve us of the torment, of the harassment of the enemy. And he will actually remove that. And so if you are here today and you are confused and in a chaotic space, would you just recognize that and stop and rest and reach out?
You can reach out. We can't see your comments right now, but we often go back later and see people's comments and read our messages.
Yes.
Interact with people through messaging.
Yeah. All right. Friends.
Thanks for being here.
Have a great day. Wash those little pretty paws and keep the peace and be of good behavior. We will see you sometime soon. That's how I blow a kiss.